Hey guys, it's Aubrey. Today I'm going to show you some dinners I made this week using only things found in my fridge, freezer, and pantry. Hopefully this gives you some ideas on what you can make for your family for dinner this week. So for this first dinner, I made slow cooker garlic lemon chicken. And so what I'm doing is putting about 2.5 pounds of frozen chicken breast into my crock pot. There are 6 adults and a baby that live in my household currently. And so if you have a smaller family or a larger family, you can always cut the recipe in half or you could double it. And so I'm just going to put that chicken into the crock pot. And once it's in there, I'm going to season it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Once the chicken is seasoned, I took a marinade that I found in my pantry that needed to get used up. It's the Lowry's herb and garlic one, and just dumped that on top. And then I set my crock pot on high and let it go for 4 to 6 hours. So it's been about 2 hours, so I'm just gonna check this and kind of stir it around because it was a bunch of chicken strips and then little chicken chunks that I found left over in the freezer. So I'm just gonna kind of stir this around, make sure that the sauce is on all the pieces there, and make sure the pieces that are on the top get moved down to the bottom. That way they get cooked as well. I was thinking we may need some more sauce, but it actually looks good to me. It's smelling really good. Just make sure these couple of pieces are in the liquid, and then we will check on this again in about 2 hours is when I'm hoping it'll be done. So I'll see you back then. The sauce was a little runnier than I wanted, and so what I'm doing here is just taking some cornstarch and water, mixing it together and putting it into the crock pot to hopefully thicken up that sauce a little bit. So after 4 hours, the chicken was done, and so I cooked up some buttered noodles and made some roasted veggies on the side and plated it with the chicken and the sauce over the noodles. It was delicious, definitely would make again. The next dinner that I made is called Hawaiian fried rice. I got the recipe from my mom, and you'll actually see her helping me a little bit in this video. So you'll first take 3 eggs and beat them up, and then you are going to scramble them. Make sure that they get really fine so there's small egg pieces in every bite of rice. Make sure to season the eggs, and then once they're all cooked, put them in a bowl and set them off to the side. And then you'll want to grab another bowl to make the sauce. Now that the eggs are cooked, I grabbed my cubed ham and put it in a pan so that way we can start to get it a little bit crispy and brown. And I am working on the sauce now. And so there is a lot of ingredients. I'll have the recipe in the description box below, but what we're adding into it is 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of sriracha, but in this case we used ketchup because we didn't have any sriracha, and then 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 3 garlic cloves that are minced. We just used the stuff in the can that you keep in the fridge. And then you also will need 1 tablespoon of minced fresh ginger, and then 2 tablespoons of the pineapple juice. So you're going to mix the sauce up, and then you're going to pour it over the ham, and you're going to also add in the eggs, and then you'll be adding in about a cup of pineapple tidbits, and you're going to stir all of that together. And once that is combined, you're going to take 4 cups of cooked rice and combine it in there. And it does have to be cold rice. If it's hot rice, it'll just turn into a big mushy mess. So make sure that that rice is cold. And once you combine that all together, then you can go ahead and serve it up. You can definitely add more vegetables to this if you have some at your house that you would think would be good in this. Our family typically doesn't add any vegetables to it, but definitely can be versatile, and you can add just about anything into it and it will taste delicious. Here's the finished dish. It's delicious. You can add lots of sides to it if you want, or just eat it as is. So this next dinner, I did beef tacos. I know tacos are something that most people know how to make. They're pretty easy. But what I like about these is they're so versatile. You can use so many things that are just sitting in your fridge, freezer, or pantry. Like this was a pound of ground beef that needed to get used up. We had some taco seasoning packets that also needed to get used up. You can also use different things like cheese and sour cream and veggies and kind of just make it your own, which is nice, especially when you have a large family. That way everybody can just go ahead and make the tacos how they best like it. And so what I'm doing here is browning up the pound of ground beef. I added salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and getting that all browned up. Now that the meat is all browned, I am adding in the taco seasoning packet that I needed to use out of my pantry. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water and mix it together so that all the ground beef gets covered and seasoned. We had some black beans that also needed to get used, and so I rinsed and drained those and put them back in my pot and just did some basic seasonings. I did some onion powder, garlic powder, and then stirred it together. So we also had some taco shells that needed to get used up, which was kind of the inspiration for this whole meal. And so I put those in the oven at 350 for 3 minutes, and then just added whatever fixins I wanted into them, and everybody else did the same, and they were delicious. Well, that's all I have for you guys this week. Hopefully that gives you some ideas of things that you can make from your fridge, freezer, and pantry to hopefully prolong you from going to the grocery store, and in turn save you some money in the long run. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you did enjoy watching this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great week. Bye!